You know, there's some rough opals that are really quite hard to come by, and this type of opal is one of them. This blue knobby, not purple, but actually blue knobby, is a black crystal knobby. So when I shine the light through this piece, which is right here, if I shine my gem torch in there, it's a very dark piece of opal, but the light goes through it. And that's going to tell me, or that is telling me, that it is a black crystal. And so once we take all the skin off and we figure out where we're going to orientate this gem, I dare say it's going to be beautiful. Let's have a look. So this knobby is quite cool. It's quite a big piece. It's about 20 carats. And it seems to be on the inside, when you shine the light, doesn't seem to have any potch in it whatsoever. Maybe a little bit of web inside, I don't know, but it's keeping the opal very dark, which means that it could be a black crystal. And because of the colour being blue, and there's also hints of green on this angle here, you can actually see hints of green. So I'm not sure what's going to happen until we get in there, but I'm hoping to get a nice, beautiful blue black crystal. Let's get the wheel going. Let's give it a little bit of a clean up around the skin. And I'll tell you what, I really like that colour. Beautiful play of colour. So I've got to say, there's some really nice colour sitting right there and faces beautifully. And then not so much from this angle. So let's have a little look on the back and see what shows up. There's a fair bit of sand involved in there, and then there's some nice blue and green colour. Looks like it's underneath. That right here, that's beautiful play of colour. Wow. Holy dooly, I'm liking that. That's gorgeous. So I have to stop cutting for a second and study this gem, because that colour is 3-4 times better than I actually imagined what it would be like. This here is what I was envisaging in the stone, which is just a bluey kind of, it's now a little bit more purple, but a bluey kind of colour. And when I started to cut from the other side, you can see flagstone and chaff of green and blue play of colour in a dark area with no potch. So we are looking at a black crystal, beautiful opal, but where do we want to cut it? We still have a big dip of like a hole right there, which is a bit of a pain. And over here is where a nice high dome gem could be sitting. So I'm thinking that if we slice that through there in the right spot so that I can round that over and take the rest of that out as I round it, I can savour something that could be underneath in there, and then go for one beautiful big gorgeous gem right here. So I might dry it up and get the texture and draw a line of where I'm going to slice it. That's going to be beautiful. So I've drawn a nice little line there just to slice off that end so we can eliminate this big hole and go for something absolutely magic in there. That could be really, really ridiculously beautiful. Let's get on the slicer. So I've just sliced the edge off it, and I'm hoping that it's, oh, look at that. Wow, that's really cool. It's got a really darker center than I even imagined. So if I played my cards right and cut this around, I should be able to keep that nice color on the top, and that would be super cool. So where I sliced that slice, It seems to have been the perfect spot. And while I might not get too much out of the slice that I took off, what it is showing me is that right where I sliced, that's almost black potch there. Now, and it only goes in a small way. It also stays on the back side, so it's giving me a chance to really work on that really nice play of colour right there. So, with that being said, let's start working on it and see if we can get ourselves a beautiful gem. Need some water, don't we? Try and roll that side up a little bit and try and get this spot out. And if we can, we're really going to have a beautiful gem. There we go, so it's started to come out. And now, I'm just going to very lightly and carefully just touch on all the little sand spots and see how clean a gem we can get and whereabouts this gem might sit in all of this play of colour and sand so that I can get the best gem possible. Just take the sand off that side. Just slowly work it in to the better colour. One last spot really needs to come out. It's just about out now, which is great. My heart's beating actually, and more because of excitement, because of the size of the gem that I'm just about to get from this piece. That is beautiful. Holy dooly. Just clean up that back a little bit. See, this is the colour I was expecting, but look at that. This isn't the colour I was expecting, nor the pattern. I'm pretty happy with that. Just give it a quick touch up, get the shape right and the dome right without losing that nice colour and pattern a little bit more so I can get a much more even dome, because taking the sand out of here has left a little bit of a dip, and I really need, or would like, the dome to be a nice even dome if possible. Oh, that's crazy, gem. Wow. Look at that. That's an incredible gem. Wow. You might have seen a few weeks ago that I cut a gem, crystal opal actually, from the same pocket or the same area that this one was mined in. And when we cut the gem, it showed green and a little bit of yellow. But when we turned it over, underneath that cap, there was green-orange. And that's a trait of some of the opal mining fields that can really put on a show when you least expect it. And this gem here is exactly what happened as well. It was a purpley blue gem, and I thought it would be quite nice, but cutting it the right way, all of a sudden that green and the blue really turned up, and it made that beautiful flagstone and chaff pattern that I love so much with 3D colour on colour. So let's get cutting this. I can't wait to see how it looks up polished. Let's go.
This is a gem that I was so excited to see the outcome of. I was there when it came down the chute, and although it was a bit unassuming, I really love these bright blue and purple stones. They don't fetch the most amount of money, but to me a big blue high dome stone is pretty cool. And although we thought it would cut a good gem, it blew away our expectations, as this has cut phenomenally. And there's nothing better than when you buy a parcel and you don't put much money on a piece and it turns out to cut something like this.
Hasn't this turned out to be a beautiful gem? This is one of those special occasions where an opal turns into so much better than you ever imagined. And let's give it a weigh, see what it weighs. I'm guessing around the 9 to 10 carats. It's over 10 carats, just over. Oh, very nice. And a piece like this with very rare blue and green play of colour, and it's that beautiful blue that everybody's looking for. And I think around about 1800 a carat makes it an $18,000 gem. Very, very nice. Super happy. I hope you enjoyed that one, because I definitely did. From a clean skin knobby right into a beautiful, beautiful gem. What a ripper. I'm so happy this time. Thanks for watching, guys. Come on.